Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wednesday night is truck night in the Sim500. It's on tonight's races. Jeff McConaughey and Joe White.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, and we are live here tonight for the Kickass Beef Jerky Truck Series, and what has been an awesome night here tonight. Well, should be an awesome night because we're crowning the champ. Don't get ahead of myself here. I'm gonna tell you what, it's going to be an awesome night. As all season long, it's come down to this, Jeff. It's these drivers have worked tirelessly all season. It's been a long season for them throughout the year. 4 drivers tonight, though, One of them's gonna come out of here a champ.
You're right.
I lost you. Still there? Like I might be connecting to Discord here for a second. Hang on just a second, folks. The Discord might be having a few little issues. Connecting back. We're gonna see. Anyways, starting grid here tonight. As I wait for that to kick back in. Go this way and see what happens. For some reason on Discord there's having a few little issues. Not sure why. It says connected. Well, green flag is out though. Here we're racing. I know, so we'll get that put back up. An already yellow flag.
Howard.
Wow. All right. Are you back with me?
What did you drop down, not me?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, Discord over here said it was connecting, and I'm like, what the heck, man? And then I left and came back, you know, so let's see if we connect up, but I don't know.
Thanks,
man.
Discord.
I know. Gotta love it. Well, let's go back on this replay here and see what happened. Or Richard Swavely. Excuse me, Ryan Howard. Whoa, that's one of the, uh-oh. Man, that's one of the Final Fours. And he started up front.
He did.
What happened?
He's way further back.
And just lost it out of the turn. Wow. Luckily, it didn't hit anything. Man. Hate to see that on his end. Nice like a paint job doing that truck. I do like that. I hate that, man, on his end.
Absolutely. That's not the way he wants to start off this championship race. Not at all. That's going to put him way behind the 8 ball now. His tires are, well, they're now shot almost. They're skidded sideways on the track. That's really not good. I'm interested to see how he's going to dig himself out of this hole. He's all the way back in 20th now after starting on the pole.
Yeah, I mean, it's not over with for him there, but like you just said, not how he wants to, especially with Daniel Falkingham, Trey Edson, you know, gotta look at Justin Fuller sitting there 13th place too. I mean, we still got kind of ways to go. I did mention beforehand on this track. What's up, David? Century, how y'all doing? I did mention on this track before. Me personally. Now, this is the new configuration. They've changed everything here. iRacing's rescanned and all. But in the past, Phoenix, to me, from the races I broadcasted, and it's nothing against the leagues or anything like that, it's just a bad place to get a lot of cautions here. Kind of, in a nutshell, it is a tough place to pass. You can get real slick here real easy.
Absolutely. This track it's deceptively easy, I guess is the best way to put it. It looks simple. It looks like you can just get around here easily, but it's pretty difficult, and you really have to fight to get your way around. The difference is between turns 1 and 2 and turns 3 and 4, and now this is the old layout before they changed everything over in real life, where now the back stretch is the front stretch, and you know, the middle of the dog leg is the start finish line. This is the old style. So 1 and 2 are the bank turns, 3 and 4 are the flat turns. So when you're in turns 1 and 2, you are banked. You have to sort of ride that banking around. Then turns 3 and 4, that track is flat. So it's very different on both ends.
Oh, absolutely. So here we go. I'll tell you what Daniel Falkingham's doing. He needs to do stay out front, out of trouble, and right there, taking off. There's Trey Edson along with him, Nick Silver. I'll tell you, these guys have worked hard to get here, especially Trey Edson. He's the defending champ. You're going to see if he can actually get up there and maybe try to get... Now, here's the thing. This is the old configuration, ain't it? This ain't the new one.
It is. This is the old configuration. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me retract my statement I was saying earlier. This configuration is the one that I have seen the most cautions come out of here on iRacing has been a tough place to get around. I have not done too many of the newer style configurations, but yet this one here, yes. And for some reason, it all forms with, you can see right there, you know, coming through that big huge dog leg style where they fan out, and then turn 4 where it's very flat and slick.
Right, this is the most recent scan that iRacing has. They haven't rescanned since the track got redone, but it's old compared to the real world current layout.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Well, right now, good battle going on. Around about 10th place. We've got Justin Fuller right there in the mix. I think Justin Fuller, you know, he's sure he wants to be aggressive. He wants to get up front. As Daniel's still leading this thing, I mean, he's the man right there. And talk about Ryan Howard, he's moving back up to 16th. So I think if where he's at now, 1, he wants to stay out of trouble. 2, he's got to be very, very patient. That's kind of where your 4 are right now, because your front 2 or your 2 and Jose Gonzalez. Man, we ain't talked much about him lately, but look at that, running in 3rd.
Well, he won the first race of the year, if I remember correctly, back at Daytona.
He did.
He did. How, you know, interesting that would be for him to sort of sandwich the season. He wins the first race, wins the last race, and sort of pops up in the middle here and there, but for him to come out and be running this far up towards the front in the last race, that's interesting.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, and Jose, I come old Speedy Gonzalez out there, you know, switched up a little bit, got the Oreo machine there, looking good. Nick Silver there behind him, along with Josh Parker, Jeff Shrewsbury. Well, I've called him Strawberry a couple times, but he's running 6. Justin Fuller, the other chase driver right there, trying to move up. He's running in the 7th place. Randy Yoakum there at 8th. Robert Gillenwater 9th, and Tyler Dalton around the top 10. So a lot of great drivers throughout this thing, and this season has just been a bruiser of a season. You've seen some guys come up through here and do awesome and have great seasons. See some guys struggle at times throughout the entire season, but this Kickass Beef Jerky Truck Series has been an awesome one so far. We're concluding it tonight here, along with crowning a champ.
Hard to believe this season's almost over already, but we're going to crown a champion tonight. Daniel FAULKINGHAM up front. Trey Edson trying to make sure it's him that gets crowned champion. Only 3/10 back, gaining a little bit. Lap 12 already. We're almost 10% of the way through the race, if for all you math folks out there. Lap around here is about 27 to 30 seconds on an average run. I would say the average lap time probably 28.5 seconds would be my
fair bet. That's a fair bet.
Yeah, sort of shoot the middle there, I guess. 28.5 seconds around this place, and if you can get a long green flag run, you got to take care of your stuff. You have to take care of your tires at this place more than any other, it seems.
And it is. This place is very hard on tires, especially this configuration. Like I was saying before, when I noticed how they were coming into the dog leg, that's when it kind of threw me in. Wait a minute, this is not the newer configuration for this place where it's kind of reversed order and the start line's in a different spot, or removed it and all. But now they have that big dog leg where they can fan out 3-4 wide going into it. But you're right, you know, tires, it's a mile track. So it's in the line there with what Dover is. It's just not a concrete style track or anything. It's still an asphalt. As one of the dudes there, Roger Craig, is one of the Canadians, he says asphalt.
An asphalt track. How about that? But it's a tough place to get around. You know, no matter what you call it, it's a tough place to get around. You have to take a lot into consideration. How deep do you drive it in on the dog leg? Do you take it onto the flat part of the track? That'll wear out your tires. Definitely gets the car upset when you go from the banked backstretch onto the flat part of the dog leg. There's a lot that goes into it here that you have to consider on each and every lap. How much do you want to push the car? How much do you want to beat it up? And how much do you just hang on for the ride?
Well, you know, watching Ryan Howard here, he's bounced back up to 14th. He definitely has a fast machine. You can pass at this place, in this one here, you know, but you're going to have to pick them off one by one. So you're going to have the time to do it, because if you look at the field as far as you know, time-wise goes, and actually Ryan Howard's one of the fastest on the track right now. That last time by he was, anyways. But everybody's running 28s, and you look at I mean, look at this here. The whole 22 cars. The leader ran a 28.10. The 22nd place car ran a 28.28. The slowest car out there ran a 47. That's only a half a second difference splitting the whole field. So you're not going to see anybody run through here like gangbusters like Chase Elliott.
Yeah. Oh, you and your conspiracy theories that Chase Elliott, my goodness, Joe.
I know, man. I had to bring that up.
Yeah, I'm sure, but Chase Elliott, your 2020 champion, drove from the back to the front, had the run of his lifetime, and he won the championship purely because Alan Gustafson didn't have a chance to mess it up. End of story.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Well, let's see what we got going on here. Is Daniel Falkingham out front, Trey Edson right there along with him. Jose Gonzalez, Josh Parker, Nick Silver, Justin Fuller, Jeff Shrewsbury, Randy Yoakum, Robert Gillenwater, and Brian Macklin. All top 10 right now. And that man out front, you know, Daniel Falkingham's loving what he's seeing. Still a long way to go in this one. Anything can happen. But you are starting to see the pattern here that we see a lot of week in, week out. And my hat's off to a lot of these drivers to be able to do it. And we've done a lot of races this season. As they're fanning out, everybody's calming down, everybody knows what they got. We could be in for a long green flag run here.
Absolutely, and I think that's exactly what Trey Edson wants to see. He's always been strong, and when he saves his tires on these long green flag runs, he's able to make something happen over the long course of the long run. I think Trey Edson wants a long run, and I think Daniel Falkingham probably does not.
Right, yeah. Well, and that's what I think you just said. Daniel Falkingham's wanting you know, long green flag run. I don't know if he'd want a lot of cautions here or there, you know. Pit strategy, though. What do you think about that?
Strategy. I think Daniel Falkingham will certainly have to try and play some strategy. Stay ahead, Trey Edson. Edson's right on that back bumper. He's less than a quarter of a second behind. He's just sitting there waiting and biding his time. And when it comes to long runs, Trey Edson is really unmatched. He's always able to make something happen.
All right, Daniel Falkingham right now, Trey Edson, Josh Parker, Jose Gonzalez. Good to see old Jose having a good run. Justin Fuller, Nick Silver, Jeff Shrewsbury. I'm so close to always wanting to say that Strawsbury, but Jeff Shrewsbury. And Randy Yoakum, Brian Macklin up there. Now, I tell you what, it's just a heartbreak story on his end. So close. Almost had it there last week. Could have put himself in the Final Four. He was there. He battled it all the way to the end. Needed to win it, though. Just, you know, when you got fast drivers up there like Trey Edson, Falkingham, and them, it's just tough.
Yeah, it's tough in a league when you've only got, you know, 4 spots to make it into the championship, and you've got, let's say, 10 really good drivers. There's some people here that were probably thinking they were going to have a shot at the championship 4 that probably deserved a spot, earned a spot, but we can only take 4. And 4 people get to battle it out at the end. That's tough, but when you have, it's a great problem to have, because if you have that many great drivers, it's going to be some great racing all throughout the season, which we've seen.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Well, you got, check on Ryan Howard. He is picking them off one by one. You know, he's just right there last lap, you know, kind of in line with some of the other drivers. He's up to 12th right now, so good bounce back for him. Again, like I said, you know, the longer this race goes green, I mean, he came to the field, he's already up to 12th. Even if it was to get a caution at this point, which obviously everybody come in for tires, but it definitely is going to help him. You know, he come in and get tires, maybe pick off a few more, get up to the front, maybe top 5 or something like that. So this is what he needed to do. Get up here as quick as he could. Get up here, you know, and kind of just ride from that point on.
Right, and that's what you have to sort of do. You just ride, and that sounds crazy, and it's very frustrating when you're the driver behind the wheel, but you can't always be out front. You can't always be winning and leading every lap. Sometimes it is better to just ride around for a little while, save your stuff, and be there when it counts. It doesn't matter who leads, lap 10 or 50 or 100. All that matters is who leads lap 155. You only need to lead one here. That's it.
And right now, everybody being as even as they are, I mean, it's pretty a dead-on heat for everybody on this track right now. I mean, just looking at the lap times, kind of give you, everybody get an indication of what the lap times look like out there. But right, you got Daniel Falkingham out front now. He's not walking away from Trey Edson, so to speak. Let's see, he's only got what 0.3 of a second over. They're not that far, about a second there over Jose. So those two are kind of walking away a little bit, and I think Trey Edson's where he wants to be. He's got Daniel right there. He's gonna, because points don't matter in this race, so you can lead all the laps you want. Bonus points, no points. It's pretty much whoever finishes in front of whoever in this race is the champ. I think Trey Edson right now is where he wants to be, and if they can separate themselves from the field, which is what they're doing, especially Justin Fuller, who's sitting right there in fourth, trying to catch up a little bit. I think Trey's going to just ride and try to see and mimic what Falkingham does if he can.
Absolutely. He's trying to see what's working. Trey Edson now closed it into within about a tenth and a half. But Justin Fuller, he's trying to run these lead guys down. He wants to get up there, and even if he has to sit in third place, now he goes for the big dive move onto the dog leg under Jose Gonzalez. There he goes. Justin Fuller's now clear. That is three of our top three being chase drivers. The fourth, Ryan Howard, is back there in 11th after spinning on lap 1, turn 1.
Yeah, you're right. Ryan Howard up to 11, Justin there. So the top three drivers right now are chase drivers: Falkingham, Edson, Fuller. And remember, Ryan Howard started on the outside. Unfortunately, slipped, going into the turn. And this place is notorious for that. Again, when we were talking about earlier in the race in the beginning, and I know you were like, really, Phoenix? You got to remember something. I haven't really and this is kind of odd, I haven't really broadcasted many of the new configuration of Phoenix. Most leagues want to run this configuration for some reason. I don't know why, but they want to run this configuration. And, this is the old one, folks. So my experience of calling races here has not been very friendly to the drivers. Let's say it that way. Yeah, we've had some massive wrecks. But again, take it back to this league. I take nothing away from any other leagues and drivers. They have a knack here for some reason of taking bad tracks and making great races out of it.
Yeah, you never know. We've seen really good racing all season. We've had some weeks that are, big misses, some weeks that are big successes. Justin Fuller's now closing his way in on the leaders. Trey Edson, I think, is sort of just stalking his prey at the moment and waiting there in second place for his opportunity to go and make a pass.
Well, you got to look, and we never associate Justin Fuller with one that's tire management. That is something that we just don't say. He's usually one speed wide open, but it looks like he's got a good long run mindset here tonight, and it's paying dividends right now because you're right. Daniel Falkingham is slower on the track. Trey Edson's there with him, and Justin Fuller's running him down. Another one to keep your eye out is Ryan Howard. He is slowly but surely coming through the field here. He's picking them up one by one. It'll take him time to get up there, and if he just keeps on the pace he's going, it probably might not be, I'm going to say, well, they do 100% fuel here, so fuel's not going to be the issue. It's going to be tires. If I'm a gambling man, let's say, do you think somebody's going to do this in a one-stop? 70 laps? 75?
That would be 78 laps they would have to go to make it. I don't know if you can make it that far. If you can make it on fuel, I would do it.
Well, 100% fuel, I mean, you do the calculations 100% fuel. I mean, that's what they run here. So it's pretty much whatever the NASCAR guys, and I can't remember what the NASCAR guys go as, you know, with the trucks or anything like here. Because I was about to say lap 50 laps, you know, 55 laps is probably what I would think. You know, we're already at, what, lap 36 right now, 38.
I would, for me, I would build my strategy around 2 stops. Just, you know, to be sure I'm not worried about fuel or anything. Pit at lap 55, pit at lap 110, and then have fresher tires towards the end. That would be my goal.
All right. Well, what do y'all think out there in the chat, man? Let us know what y'all think of pit strategy-wise, because right now we're on a massive long green flag run. Don't want to, you know, jinx and knock on wood and all that, but on a good one here. Season finale here tonight, Phoenix International Speedway, the Kickass Beef Jerky Truck Series. And folks, if you want to get 19% off, go to kickassbeefjerky.com. Put in promo code Sim500. Get you 19% off. Get some Kickass Beef Jerky for Thanksgiving. As me and Jeff was talking last week about, they do have turkey jerky, but I don't think Kickass has it. But either way, throw you some beef jerky up there for the turkey day. Or get some for Christmas. Either way, it's coming around the corner. And this is the season finale. We're going to crown a champ. 4 drivers right now. That's Daniel Falkingham, Trey Edson, Justin Fuller, 1, 2, 3. But Ryan Howard, who spun early on, he's coming through the field slowly but surely. He's up to 8th. He's the other driver there. Now, I gotta say, he's probably the lone shot here. If he was a betting man, he would be the one with the everybody be like, make the most money off of. What's that? What's that word I'm looking for there, Jeff? In the betting world, they're the
dark horse.
The flag's out. Yeah,
the underdog.
Underdog. Yeah. Oh, Richard Swavely around. Let's go back on the replay, and you know what? That might take our pit strategy calls out of this one, because pretty much everybody's going to come down on pit road now, I bet.
Oh, absolutely. You definitely need to come down and pit now.
Let's see what happened here. The 46 machine there. You see him. It looks like he might have a check up. Maybe a little bit check up for the truck in front of him. Oh, they went 3 wide, and then just contact between him and the 52 there. That's Sean Casto. Ouch, just split him around. Okay, yeah, I'm with you on this one. Everybody's going to have to come on pit road. I mean, it's 40 laps in. Whether this is in your window or not, you still got to come on pit road. Tires. And you already see Josh Parker says, fake, not coming in. Now, I don't want to go out on a limb and say right now, tires are the utmost importance. Yes, they are important. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not going to say if there's a caution late in the race that somebody could stay out. In track position, it would all be depending on how many other cars stayed out with them. You know, we've been fooled by that on some tracks before in the past, where a guy would stay out or take 2 and you know, hold off the guy with 4 tires because the other guys just wasn't able to get through the field in time. So we'll just have to see if that will happen here, because it looks like pretty much everybody takes their 4 tires. Daniel Falkingham's away, but you're going to see Josh Parker, Tyler Dalton. If this was a green-white checkered, or let's say 4 laps to go, and we put it in a scenario like this with Josh Parker up front, he could hold Daniel Falkingham off. It would all depend on how fast he got around Tyler Dalton. He could hold Daniel Falkingham off for a couple laps, you know. Obviously hold him off for the rest of the race, and that's a different subject.
For sure. And now Josh Parker, Tyler Dalton, looks like they stayed out. So Daniel Falkingham, Trey Edson, Justin Fuller are going to be restarting behind them. Don't look now, but Ryan Howard's worked his way back up to 7th. So that puts him in a good spot. That's what he needed to do.
Oh, absolutely. And you're right. So right now, Falkingham sits in 3rd, Edson there in 4th, Fuller up there along with him. Ryan Howard's able to, maintain his spot where he was there in 8th place, so he's there in a hunch with him. So, don't count out any of that. These guys around them still want to win. I mean, we're focusing a lot on the 4 drivers there for the championship, because that's been the work all season long. But don't count out guys like Josh Parker, Tyler Dalton, Brian Macklin. I mean, you know, those guys want to win, so going back green.
That they do. Justin Fuller now to the inside of Daniel Faulkingham. Trey Edson right on his back bumper. Fuller's there. Fuller's going to go all the way down onto the dog leg. They're going to be 3 wide for the position. Faulkingham in the middle clears Fuller. Fuller actually has to check up. Trey Edson now gets right to his back bumper. And Brian Macklin also going to throw his hat in the ring to take a look for this next position. Josh Parker is no longer out in front. He's back with Faulkingham to the lead.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you right off the bat, it looks like Daniel Faulkingham is here to win this race. He drove that thing up as we're watching replay here on what happened to Thomas O'Leary. He drove that thing there, Jeff. Boy, you see them guys back there 3 or 4 wide. Like maybe a little contact. Oh, they're 3 wide in the wrong spot off 4. Oh, yeah. A little bump and run right there, and he just got sideways into the wall. Poop. It looks like Daniel Faulkingham came here to win this race. You know, he drove up there. Normally that's a move we see Justin Fuller make. And he drove right past Fuller and them for 3 wide. Very aggressive move. And I guess in a nutshell, here's another thing I look at. There is no points. It's not like we're racing. If you win the race, you're into the next stage. You know, tonight you got to finish in front of these guys to be a champ. So I think you're going to see moves like that from these guys you normally wouldn't see in the chase early on.
Yeah, right. Justin Fuller, Trey Edson, they are both going to be racing like crazy. And they're going to make some aggressive moves here later on. And hopefully they don't rub fenders. Nobody ends up going around. Daniel Faulkingham is out front. I think he intends to stay up there.
Yeah, and that just showed it right there on that move he did. He's content to be out front where he wants to be. Trey right now, I think, is biding his time. Don't count Trey and Justin, and don't count Ryan Howard out. He's been able to come through the field too. And again, now I've said this a million times, I'll say it again. Guys like Brian Macklin, Josh Parker, Jose, and all those guys up there who are not chase contenders, don't roll over for the chase guys. If you've got a fast enough truck to hang with them and win a race, win the race. Don't wreck the other guys, obviously, or try not to anyways. But don't just move out the way. I mean, try to win this race because obviously winning a race tonight sets you up good for next season.
Right. A lot of these drivers are already thinking about next season. If you're not one of the final 4 drivers, you're focused on next season, finding speed later on. If you're one of these front 4 guys, you are just focused on right here, right now to try and win yourself a championship.
There you go. Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, right there, Jeff, and you speak of racing. You do a lot of racing out there, and you gotta make it known. Now, this is a fixed setup series here, but obviously you have a lot of open setups, and you know a lot about setups, don't you?
I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two.
But with the thing or two you see, you also have a lot of setups that you can give out, don't you?
Absolutely. We've got a lot of setups up for sale over at www.McConeySetupShop.com, over on Facebook as well, the McConey Setup Shop Facebook page. We've got a little bit of everything. And you know what? There is an SK modified set that even Dale Jr. himself not only ran, but asked for. Dale Jr., I was beating him in an SK mod race, jumped on the mic and said, "Hey, Jeff, if you're sharing it, I'll take that setup you got." So if it's good enough for Dale Jr., it's good enough for you.
But I tell you what, man, that's awesome. And that's awesome right there. Like I said, check them out, McConey Setup Shop. I know here's a fixed setup here, but there's a lot of open ones out there that you can get into, dirt and whatnot. But right now, Daniel Faulkingham's out front, Justin Fuller, Trey Edson, Brian Macklin. Looks like the top 4's content to go single file out front. Josh Parker, he's not losing as much ground as I thought he would with those old tires. I mean, obviously he's going to lose some because everybody's on new tires. But it might be something to think about again, like I said, in the right situation, the end of the race. That might be a good call.
absolutely, and you're right. This is a fake series, boy. Wouldn't it be crazy if Sim500 were to use Marconi Setup Shop for one of the for next year or something like that?
They have done, and you might get up with the man Joey Katina, because I know they have done. Sometimes they don't like to fix setup. Or
we might already have a message. Who knows? But
what they don't like to set up for, like Daytona and Talladega a lot of times for their Cup cars, because they used to tend to ride just in a single file. So they've made a custom setup and made some of the most exciting racing that was out there. Obviously they made one. Somebody made it was off the series, and they gave it, and so forth, and to everyone a week or so ahead, or they could practice, and it was an exciting race side by side and so forth. There you go. But we got some pretty good racing.
A lot of setups for leagues and stuff where we'll build the setup for them. But yeah, we've
there you go.
We'll see what happens in the near future. Sim500 is a fantastic league. They're great people and some of the best racing on the service, hands down.
Absolutely, and you can tell here again. Like I say, when I usually grit my teeth when I come to Phoenix, and when Phoenix is mentioned, anytime on iRacing, especially this configuration, I always grit my teeth like, oh, we got to come here, man. It's going to be a caution fest, and I don't mean it in a harsh way to the drivers or the league. I mean it as just in my past experience with this place. Now, with that said, obviously tonight has been phenomenal. We're going to have maybe 2 cautions tonight so far, maybe 2 or 3, but they've had some long green flag runs.
Only 3 cautions and 55 laps. I'll take it. That's that is. I mean, we're a third of the way through this race already. A third of the way to crowning a champion. Trey Edson's not looking as strong as he was before, and maybe that's just he's focusing on the long run, taking care of his stuff now. But Justin Fuller is about a half second back on Daniel FAULKINGHAM, and Trey Edson is about 1.1 seconds off the leader. And Brian Macklin just about 2/10 behind him, and Jose Gonzalez and Ryan Howard not too far behind at all.
Remember when we were talking about lap times, Daniel FAULKINGHAM ran a 27.7. Fuller with a 73, a 74 for Edson. I mean, when you're running those kind of times, there's nothing you can do. These guys are pretty locked up, solid, in the whole top field. I mean, Ryan Howard, he was running 27.8, so it's tough sledding up front so far.
What this track tends to breed is very close racing, very similar lap times, especially when you're on that fixed setup. This is all going to come down to the driver. Who's the best driver at this track tonight? For this race, we'll have to see. And right now, it's looking like Daniel FAULKINGHAM is looking to be the favorite, but Justin Fuller's right there on that back bumper. And if he's listening into this broadcast, he's going, you guys are not giving me enough of a chance. I've got planned. And he's got something cooking there in his head, I guarantee it.
And what's frustrating about this is you're so close. You see now, Daniel FAULKINGHAM must have made a mistake that last time. He fell off the pace a little bit, but it's frustrating as a driver because you're right there, right along Justin Fuller here. And you can see he is a little bit time-wise off of Daniel. And you're right there as a driver, you're going, got him, he's right there. But it's just like you can't get that extra little oomph to pull him in. And it's frustrating on a track like this.
Absolutely. It's always frustrating to be running second, but at a track like this where it's so hard to pass is one of the worst feelings in the world. So we'll have to see what Justin Fuller's going to do, because we saw Trey Edson stay patient, stay calm, cool, and collected right there in second place for a while, but I don't know how long that's going to last, honestly. Caution is out.
In effect. Alright. If that was Richard Swavely. It's saying he went into the pits and left pits. See what happened here. We'll go on him. That's who it was. Didn't really tell me who it was. Watching him here on the replay, but just to go back on what we was talking about there, Jeff, it is frustrating for a driver. You're right there behind him. Oh, actually, the truck in front. Who was that spinning? Somebody spinning. It was spinning. Somebody was spinning as well. You know who that was?
Not. I'm not sure who that caution was. It wasn't one of our championship drivers, so that's a good.
Who that is? That's gosh. Jimmy. Watch Thomas up here because it was in front of Richard right there. We'll watch it one more time, see if we can get any indication here. There it is. Oh, just I'm not sure who it was, but it's the EJ O'Rourke. Is it? Yep, EJ 41. Just kind of slid across the track. A little dirt modifying. Now here's where it'll be interesting. Here's where it's going to get interesting on the track. You got guys pitting and guys not pitting. Well, about 14th on back, you got everybody coming into pit road. Probably going to put, you know, it looks like some guys, pretty much everybody's going 4 tires. And then the rest of the field's going to have obviously been out here on lap 42. So now let's see what those new tires will do. Will they come through the field or not?
I think if you've used your second set of tires this early, you're in a lot of trouble. You are banking on a long green flag run here. But if you've already used 2 of your sets, man, that puts you a little bit behind the 8 ball.
Well, it's been a good one so far here. Season finale here, the Kickass Beef Jerky Truck Series, folks. Live tonight here at Phoenix International Speedway. And I have to bear with me. I'm a little tired here tonight. Is that with the thoughts and prayers out there? My littlest one had surgery today. Doing well. He's in there knocked out asleep. So, yeah.
Well, good that hey, glad to hear he's all right.
Oh yeah. Well, he I've never seen anybody excited about having surgery, but he was excited. What's that? He was excited.
I don't know. It seems like kids are invincible. Like if you just, if you don't acknowledge that like something's happened, they're just completely fine. But
well, he's excited. It was on his eye, and he's going to get new lens and all done, so he's just like, I can be able to see, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, so
that's great that it went well.
Oh yeah, it went well. He's there asleep. He's laid out, so good deal. Daniel FAULKINGHAM up front, Justin Fuller there behind him, Trey Edson's there in third, Brian Macklin's along with him, Jose's up to fifth, Ryan Howard still trying to get back up there to where he was. He's up there to sixth. He's gotten to a point now that it's pretty much dead heat up front now.
That it is. Trey Edson now right on that back bumper of Justin Fuller. Trey Edson's been saving, I think. He's been just riding around. He was about a second back. He had Brian Macklin on his back bumper for a long time. Brian's still there, but now Trey Edson right there with Justin Fuller. Let's see how aggressive he gets. He's not going to do anything crazy. He's just going to follow in the footsteps of Justin Fuller, do what he needs to do, and maybe try and make a pass here for second place.
Well, let me do this right fast here. It's a second caution. Well, never mind. We're under caution.
No caution.
Caution, but they're wrecking in the back. Randy Yokelman in back there wrecking. But folks, we're gonna do a quick commercial break right fast. We'll be right back here in just a second. Alright, we're back here, folks, and a little updating because I was aware of some of the paint jobs out there wasn't showing up, so we'll see what happens now. These things should start popping up here in a second. Updating a little bit here and there. Put it that way. Like a bunch of little white ghost trucks running around the track. It's been a good one so far, though. A lot of drivers out here tonight definitely have done what they needed to do so far.
Absolutely, and the guy doing it better than anyone else, Daniel FAULKINGHAM. But look at that. 3 chase drivers battling for a championship, all within 4/10 of each other. That's about 6 car lengths separating the front from the back, if that.
Yeah, and you got Ryan Howard sitting there in 6th, so he's the other chase contender with top 3 guys. Now, you know, Ryan's probably thinking back in his mind, all right, I know I'm kind of the lone shot here to get in there. The odds are not in my favor, but I'm here, and I can hit it. And tell you what, when we did the trading paints update, it actually updated Jose's truck too there, so now he's back in his different, not the Oreo machine, but sort of a speedy machine. But I think Howard would probably love to see Fuller, FAULKINGHAM, and all those guys get up there and battle. You see, Justin Fuller takes the lead.
Hey.
Lost.
Knowing Justin's going to push it right here now that he's out front.
And I think so. I think he's going to see what his truck will do. I think he's realizing now that it's a long green flag run. Maybe we should, maybe I should see what my truck will do a little bit. You know, I know I can ride there. I know I can catch them. Let's see if I can maintain and stay in front of them now. And I think at some point Trey Edson's going to have to do that move now. As you see, as I'm saying that, there he is going around it. He's going to have to test the waters and see how well he can get around them. Just in case he's in this spot later on in the race there. And it looks like he's able to go around Daniel FAULKINGHAM. As FAULKINGHAM either saying, okay guys, y'all go out front and lead a little bit. I'll ride behind you. Or something's wrong.
I don't know, maybe he burnt off his stuff watching Justin Fuller in his rearview mirror the entire time, but I don't think he's in trouble per se, but he's not in the best position. I would rather be first or second than third at the moment.
Yeah, well, you're talking about Josh Parker right there. He's one of the ones that pitted the lap 62 and took 4 tires. Obviously, you can tell he's got the tire advantage over the guys who pitted up front there at lap 42. But how long it took him to finally get to that position and how long it's taken him to get around him is what I'm talking about. What could happen at the end of this race if all the stars align and everything. So, have to see. But yeah, Daniel right now falling off the pace a little bit. And I'm going to tell you what, Justin Fuller and Trey Edson has picked the pace up a lot. You can see right there, I mean, that Fuller, Edson, Parker's right there with him. Ryan Howard still hanging on back there in the 6th place spot. A little further on back. Good looking machines out here. Chad Coleman. So he's was only a couple positions off from making it to the final 4. Tried everything he could last week to get up there. Needed pretty much a win to get in. Got that Kickass beef jerky truck machine looking good.
That it certainly is, and Kickass beef jerky, man, they've sponsored this entire season, and I mean, they sent us some product. Gosh,
yeah.
You know, can you believe that was probably 8 months ago, 7 months ago?
I'm gonna tell you, and tonight, you know, the winner here, you know, just to let them know, you know, what's on the line here through this season, the championship prize.
Parker to the lead.
Oh, John Parker, yep. Josh was coming through that field pretty quick there. But the championship of the 2020 season is going to receive a 1/24 scale die-cast truck created by Nick Silver. And if you go to if you go to Sim500.com and look on the Kickass Beef Jerky series, you'll actually see Trey Edson's truck from last season right there, what it looks like. So what one will look like. In addition to that, they get a $100 Kickass Beef Jerky prize pack of their choosing. Second place receives a $100 Kickass Beef Jerky prize pack of their choosing. Third gets a $60 and fourth gets a $40. So not bad, man, right there at all. Prize wise of what these guys are running for, and just got to give my hats off and whatnot. But yeah, tires. You can see the tire difference up there. That's what Josh Parker did. He went blowing by old Justin Fuller.
Yeah, it's working well for him. That is for sure, to say the least. Those fresh tires will certainly help, but I don't know if it was the right call, because I believe that's his second set of tires used, and if it is...
Daniel Falkingham's kind of scratching my head. Now, he's got a little damage to the right rear of that truck. I'm wondering if he scraped the wall on the right side, maybe come out of forward, because normally that's where usually it happens on here. Because that thing is definitely not handling her up to speed like it was at the beginning of this race.
No, you're right. He's about a second and a half back, and he's losing time per lap. I don't really know what happened.
I mean, you can see the damage. Let's see if we can't get a... If you look right here on this shot, folks, you can see what I'm talking about. And it looks like what has happened is he's kind of scraped, pancaked the wall just a little bit. As you can see, the little bit of crumpness right there on the front fender, on the side of it, and then obviously the back spoiler. Not a lot, obviously, but I'm going to tell you, it can be enough that it's slowing him up. I mean, this place here, it's not all about aero, but handling is a big factor here, and any little thing that upsets maybe the toe in or how these cars can handle make for a rough night here.
And that would just be, there's mental mistakes, and there's mental mistakes that you are kicking yourself over for weeks and months on end. And to catch the wall there, running out front with the lead, if that's what happened, man, that would be devastating for Daniel Falkingham after the season he's had and all the success he's had. That would be really too bad. But at the end of the day, that's racing as well. You take the wins with the losses, and now Justin Fuller, doesn't matter who the fastest car is, it's the first one to cross the line. And you have to take care of yourself.
And, he's got to this point, not going to count him out. Obviously, Ryan Howard earlier on in the race, got in trouble, so he's been able to bounce back. So Daniel Falkingham could do the same. If you're Daniel Falkingham here, Jeff, what do you do?
Pray for a caution, break out the rosary beads, and get a caution so you can work on that car and get the damage fixed. You need to get that. It's your only chance, and it'll put you way further back. So you kind of got to just hope for a caution and get that damage repaired if there is damage on the truck that is hurting it as much as we think it is here, because he's losing a tenth a lap, and that's going to ruin his race if he can't get it fixed.
It's the only thing I can think of. I mean, obviously he had a bad fast machine earlier in the race, and now it's just all of a sudden it's just falling off the pace, and that's the only thing I can see, physically that would go wrong. So, obviously he was talking earlier about setups and stuff, but definitely if he's popped the wall and hurt the front end toe or anything like that in the truck, and it could affect how it stays handling. Might be a little bit tighter than what he wants it to be, or so forth and so on. But he's definitely falling off the pace. And Josh Parker with those newer tires up front. Justin Fuller right now hanging on to second. He's got Trey Edson there knocking on his back tailgate, trying to see if he can't get around him. As Trey Edson, for the moment, man up front. I think Trey Edson's kind of just stalking these guys.
I think so as well. I don't think he's pushing the car too much, pushing the truck too much yet. He's sitting there comfortably in third. He knows that his main focus is on Justin Fuller. He doesn't need to win the race. He needs to beat Fuller, Faulkingham, and Howard. And speaking of Faulkingham and Howard, those two are about to be battling for 5th place.
Yeah, and this is what, Ryan Howard wants. He's had to bounce back here. He's rode behind Faulkingham for the moment, just being very patient. It's still, to these guys, it's still early run. I would say it's still a little early to be making moves. Now, obviously, if Ryan can get around him, go for it. But we're talking about Trey Edson here. And I think Trey right now is just playing a smart race. He's not showing all his cards in his hands yet. I really feel, and again, I could be wrong. This could be all he's got. And he's doing everything he can. But I just, knowing how Trey Edson is, I just don't really feel that he's showing everything yet.
I agree. He's a very patient driver. He's a very smart driver. And he will certainly use that to his advantage here. You don't make it to the Final Four by showing all your cards early on at lap 94 of 155. I think when the time comes, he'll be able to make his move, but we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. What's that?
Well, I'm gonna step away for one quick second here, Joe. So you're gonna have to cover the action, but yeah, we'll see what happens here. If I come back and there's a big wreck and all 4 J contenders are taken out, then I would like to apologize in advance.
Yeah, he jinxed him. Well, Josh Parker, the man up front right now, and he would love to just put this thing in victory lane, cap off the season here for himself. He's leading. He's actually, pit strategy-wise, he's a little bit off from what the other guys are. Justin Fuller there in second. Justin Fuller, yeah, he would love to win this race, but he'd love to stay just right where he's at here at the end, because that would put him as a champion here in the Kickass Beef Jerky Truck Series. And Trey Edson would love to get one more position up, because that would make him champion and defend the championship and be a back-to-back champion, that is. But still got back here. And Brian Macklin, he's working over those guys. He's sitting back here watching them, sitting in 3rd or 4th place. Again, he'd like to be up over Josh Parker, seeing if he can even just win this race and kind of, kick out the end of this season, maybe start the next season off on a good foot and a good note. Got Daniel Faulkingham and Ryan Howard back in 5th and 6th. The other 2 chase contenders who, right now we're talking about Daniel Faulkingham dominating earlier on in the race, pretty much the first half of it. And, got a little damage on that right side of it. And it's just not been the truck that it was earlier on. So he's probably hoping for a caution to get maybe some of this optional repair done, because under green, he's not going to be able to get a lot of it done. And if he does, he's going to risk going a lap down or 2. And if that happens, he can almost, I wouldn't say it's a done deal, but he could almost kiss his chance of championship run goodbye. Especially with as long of a green flag runs it's been. If you go a lap down here, getting a lap back is going to be really not impossible, but it's going to be close. And Jose Gonzalez right there, he's got, I'm not sure what that says. Guya? I'm going to say Guya. I hope that's what that is on that truck. Maybe Joey Cantina out there watching, he can relay. I know he's got the Speedy on the side of it that I always say. Oh, Speedy Gonzalez right there. Man's the fastest man here in the league. Fastest man that knows how to flip a sandwich for you. He actually got Speedy on the truck there. I like that. That's pretty. Jeff Strewsbury hanging on to 8. Tommy Ryan back there in 9th. Tommy's been kind of one of those. He missed, got eliminated out of the chase early on. Actually, excuse me, but he missed the chase coming in. I mean, it was just the one race and he's had bad luck. But he's been one of those kind of dark horses here throughout the entire chase. Had fast trucks. And, could have been here at the Final Four. Just have to see what happens to him in the next season. Robert Gillenwater there in 10th. Rounding out the top 10 right now. We're running on back down here with Tyler Dalton hanging out to the 11th place spot. You got Chad Colvin there in another kick-ass beef jerky truck. He's coming in on pit road. He's had enough of it. And it's going to give that to Jimmy North up in the 12th. Who looks a little damaged on the back end there. But you got Sean Casto. As you see him with the Speed Energy machine there. Gael Brooks back in the back. A little damage. The front nose not looking the best, but he's back in 14th right now. 15th spot. Thomas O'Leary won earlier on. EJ O'Rourke, not the night he's looking for, but he's got that trans service machine. Great sponsor coming on board for him all season long, running in 16th spot there. Jason Barham, the other Kickass Beef Jerky truck man, one of the guys behind the Kickass Beef Jerky truck series. And out there doing a good job in 17th. Jeff Ryan at 18th. We got green flag pit stops. And Ryan Howard's one of the ones coming on pit road. Randy Oakland back in 20th, 21st. Richard Swavely. And like I said, with just Chad Coleman's way back in the 22nd because he just came out on pit road. Josh Parker and company up front. Now, Josh Parker probably is not going to come in, but I'm interested in when Justin Fuller. As you see, Brian Macklin's made it around Trey Edson. Well, that's interesting. Now that puts Trey Edson back in 4th place. And you can already start seeing these trucks get a little bit wiggly behind them. We're in the final lap, or final race. Got a few more laps to go, not final laps. One more pit stop. These guys are going to have to make one more pit stop. Period. And it's all about when they make that stop to go the entire distance. Now, let's see. They pitted at lap 42. Oh, yeah, they definitely, if they pitted anywhere between this time, if any of those guys pitted now, they can make it the entire distance. I don't think Josh Parker can. That one's going to be stretching it. He pitted at lap 62. Let's do the math here a little bit. 42, 105. I got to bear with me a second here because I got to get my toes involved. Let's see. 50 to 100, that's 50. You had 5, it's 55. And another 8, that's 61. Right? No, 62. Alright. So 62 laps, 63 laps is what they have done right now. Fuller, Macklin. Give or take 1 or 2 laps in there. Josh Parker would have to go 55. And he'd have to go 90 laps. Almost. I mean, he would have to go 55 plus another 38 on top of that. Never mind, as we got a truck around, caution. Forget about it. Boy, Josh Parker's singing the blues now. He's going to hallelujah. Jason Barham, though. Oh, unfortunately, the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky truck just got his butt kicked. We'll say it that way. Oh, what was that the other way? We'll see what happened on the replay here. Unfortunately, Joey Continue wants me to go TV. Was it TV 17? Mature on him out here. So, oh, he just lost it. They just stepped out from under it violently. Oh, and almost Trey Edson got involved in there. Yeah, Trey Edson almost got a little bit of that. Ow.
What did I say?
No, man.
If I and came back, and now Ryan Howard's a lap down. Trey Edson almost got wrapped up. What happened?
Well, Ryan Howard did a green flag stop. So obviously that's where he got that. He's pretty much going to try to do his wave around. Obviously, it's untimely caution for him. Jason Barham went around, and I was just talking about pitch strategy of what Josh Parker would do. Could he take it? I don't think he could. All these other guys have been out here for about 63 laps. Parker would have had to went about he'd had to go like 80, 90 laps. So this right here, caution, I'm gonna say benefits him more than any of them out there because he was on that off-cycle pit stop that he knew at the end of the race. Now what this does here, Jeff, it's everybody can make it. And looks like Justin Fuller's going to win the battle off pit road over Josh Parker. So now, I've said it a many a times. You got a chase driver out front. Now you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 non-chase drivers behind him. And you got to go back to 7th place before you get to Daniel FAULKINGHAM because Trey Edson is in 10th right now. And the reason being is he almost got caught up in that mess there on that this caution. So it could have been disastrous on his end. And Ryan Howard getting caught a lap down, obviously he probably going to have to do the wave around or something and hope for caution to get back up. But this is interesting. especially with Fuller being so far out front.
Absolutely. This is really going to throw a wrench in things now. Lap 110 of 155. Man, this could be the break that Justin Fuller needed.
You know, and if Justin Fuller is able to hang on and pull this thing off and become the champ here, boy, I tell you what, it's going to be a wild one when these guys talking, because I can hear it now. The chants out there, hashtag Justin cheated or something. They'll come up with something. You know, retire Justin or something. I don't know. They'll come up with some wild hashtag name for him out there. So if you're watching on the league and by the league, there you go. I just helped you out a little bit. Hashtag Fuller's cheating. Hashtag Fuller running him over or something. I don't know. They'll come up with something crazy. I know they always do, because they always like picking on Justin Fuller.
There you go.
Well, that's a good one so far. He's going to line it up there. Now, don't count Josh Parker out. Parker's, and that's another thing that's got to go through Fuller's mind. He's got a lot of hungry guys behind him that would love to get a win. You know, guys like, Jose, Brian, and stuff. He can't afford to wreck. You know, those guys, get up there racing hard with him. I hope these guys will get up there and race him hard, just because he is a, chase contender. Race him hard. And that's the one thing you don't want to do, is get caught up in a mess and end up then killing your chances, because you're in a perfect position. The green flag flies. He gets a good jump, though.
That he does, and this is exactly what he wants to see. He wants Brian Macklin, Josh Parker battling back there, and all those guys behind. He wants to get as far out in front of this field as possible here, because if everything goes right, it'll be a green flag run to the end for him.
It will, and out front, like you said, Justin Fuller there. The battle's on door to door between Macklin, Parker right there. So they're going to mix it up. Jose's there. Tommy Ryan's up there. Treyetz is trying to do what he can earlier on and utilize those tires. He knows it's go time. Falkingham still off the pace. Back in ninth, unfortunately. In 14th sitting Ryan Howard. Treyetz and those moving up. Oh, we got a big one in the front. Macklin is around. Oh, let's go back up here and watch, because it looked like it was just involved Macklin and all. And you saw Parker and Macklin, they were side by side battling. I'm feeling maybe those two just got together. And unfortunately, Brian Macklin was the one who paid the price on it. Watch it one more time here. You see Trey right there. Or excuse me, Josh. Oh, they both got loose. Look at that. Parker was able to hold on to it, and Macklin just looped it. Luckily, didn't hit anything, though. But, man, both those trucks just got wicked out from under.
Sometimes that just happens. We saw it lap one with Ryan Howard as well. It's got to be something with the cold tires.
And I take it back to, I think that was turn 4. Turn 4 is kind of unique here on this one. It almost flattens out, and you get very slick if you get back on the throttle too soon.
It's partially getting on the throttle too soon, but also getting on the throttle too hard. I found that I have to roll into the throttle here like a modified. Like in a modified on a track like this, you roll into the throttle slowly. It keeps weight on the back springs, and that's what keeps the car steady on exit. You don't want to be throwing the weight back and forth by lifting fully off and then getting all the way back on. So for a track like this, you sort of have to roll into the throttle here and make it work and be patient.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good explanation on it right there, and you're exactly right on it. So every track is different, and again, with this configuration here, with the turns being unique, and if you were setting up for this track on a setup, you're going to have to pretty much pick a turn. You're going to tell your driver, say, look, you either want to be good 1 and 2, or you want to be good 3 and 4. Because
you're exactly right.
Yeah, there's no in between. There's no, oh yeah, we're going to make it all around. You could try, but this is just one of these unique tracks. Now, I'm not sure on how the other configuration is, but I know how this configuration is. It is so different between it. It's almost like Oh shoot, what's the other track I'm thinking of? It's about the same way. Can't think it off the top of my head. It'll come to me in a minute.
I know a lot of times, depending on what we're looking for here, we'll often build off of a New Hampshire setup.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we'll work off of New Hampshire.
And you know what? Turn 4 actually reminds me a lot of New Hampshire because, you know, a lot of those turns when you come off of New Hampshire, like what you said, you got to roll into that throttle. You can't just mash down on it and take off. It's the same way here with like turn 4. Like you said, you got to roll into that throttle. Because if you mash it too hard or get into it too hard, it'll spin that truck right around.
You're right. And with that, like you said, you're exactly right when you say when we're building a setup, we pick and choose the corner. So for McConey Setup Shop, when we were here, we had a lot of success a couple weeks ago. We had a lot of success here at Phoenix because we chose turns 1 and 2 and everyone else went for turns 3 and 4. And we sort of figured out, well, if you can get that really strong run, you know, we could make it so you got an okay run off of 2 and a good run off of 4. But if everyone's getting a good run off of 4 and you get an okay run, but you get a great run off of turn 2, you build for turn 2, and you can just fly down the backstretch, it doesn't matter if you get that exit on turn 4, because you'll be there and you'll be making the pass. As long as you're to their inside by the entry of 3, you've made the pass. You're fine.
There you go. There you go. So good insight on setup making here and whatnot. It's always good, though, the tech side of things and the racing. We're getting set to go back green. We're getting down here to the closing laps here to crown a champ at the Kickass Beef Jerky Truck Series. Justin Fuller out in front, Josh Parker there, Jose Gonzalez. We got Trey Edson, Tommy Ryan and company. Green flag.
Good jump.
Good, that is good. Start rolling Fuller.
And he's got what he wants to see. He doesn't want Trey Edson to get clear, and Trey Edson doesn't get clear of Jose Gonzalez. Josh Parker sliding into line in second place. That's okay for Justin. That's fine. He knows he can outrun Josh, and he doesn't need to worry about Josh Parker. He doesn't need to beat Josh Parker. He needs to beat Trey Edson.
Yep. And if Josh gets up there and starts, you know, hammering on his back end and so forth, so it's this battle back here with Trey Edson and Jose, and Trey's able to get around him now. So if Josh gets up there and starts really hammering on the back end there, Fuller, at some point, you know, he's going to have to say, okay. Now, the problem with that is you see Trey now is closing in, and he might not only, you know, give up to Parker, but he might also end up giving up to Trey, too. If Trey was a little bit further back, you might think about, you know what, go ahead, Josh, faster than I am. I don't want to, you know, sit here and get caught up in a wreck and you accidentally get in the back of me or something like that might happen. But we're sitting right now, if he was to do that, I would say it might open the door up for old Trey. It'll be interesting though. And then how long does Trey ride behind, you know, Josh? How long does Trey sit back and go, okay, look, Josh, if you're not going to make the move around him, I got to get up there at some point. Yellow flag's out.
That's big. That's huge for Trey Edson because that puts him to the inside. He can sit right behind on that back bumper, Justin Fuller, if not push him to the line, and then get that jump and be clear of Josh Parker by the exit of the 2. This caution is great for Trey Edson and terrible for Justin Fuller.
What we're seeing is back here with Thomas O'Leary, and you see back there Daniel FAULKINGHAM and him, and Ryan Howard. Oh, Brian Macklin looks like he went around and just got into Thomas O'Leary. Those two just lost it again out of the turn. Ouch. And unfortunately, Daniel FAULKINGHAM, Ryan Howard back in 11th and 9th place, just well off the pace right now. Now you talk about being huge, Trey Edson. That's as long as Justin Fuller takes the outside lane. If he takes the inside lane, Trey Edson on top. Yeah. Wait a minute. Flip that around. My bad. Never mind. Josh Parker won the pits.
Wow. Okay. So that's less good for Trey Edson.
But I don't understand this pit strategy with roughly going to be about, a little over 25 laps.
I think Josh is banking on another caution.
He's going to have to. I mean, he's going to have to now run through this field and at least pick off. He's going to want to at least pick off maybe 5 to 6 positions before a caution flies, because it's not going to benefit him if he comes back out and the caution flies, and he's not picked up a lot of positions. But yeah, I'm strange because he could have made it the whole entire way, unless he just really feels that the newer tires, which I mean he's going to be on 20, about not quite 20 lap newer tires, unless he feels like that newer tires will help him that much. We'll have to see. But it's going to have to go green the rest of the way, I think, for that to work. It really would, because if you get any kind of cautions to slow you down, yeah, so I think I'm going to go along with what you're saying too, but also throw in the other part here is I think he's thinking that maybe the difference in those tires are going to be that just much faster that he can come through this field with.
We'll see. And Josh Parker's only concern is winning the race. That's all he cares about. And Justin Fuller, his only concern is beating Trey. He doesn't care if he wins the race. It would be great. It would be great to win the race. But he's got to go out and beat Trey. And he's got to beat Ryan Howard and Daniel FAULKINGHAM.
Well, Trey's been in this position. He's obviously the his last year's champ. He's the defending champ right now, and he's looking to make it back-to-back championships. I'm not going to say he's not probably in a nervous situation right now. Justin Fuller, he has been a past champion here, but boy, these two guys right now, what's going through their mind? Man, got 20-some laps to go, and anything can happen. Then we got Tommy Ryan up there to third, so he's having a good bounce back at old Jose. John Casto right there, Jeff Shrewsbury, EJ O'Rourke, Ryan Howard. Ryan's pulled back up to 8. Gael Brooks, got to give him a good shout out there for Gael up to 9. Robert Gillenwater runs top 10s. We'll line him up 2x2 here. Lights off on the pace truck. Let go green flag. Pace truck's in. See what Trey does here.
Yeah, he's got to time this restart perfectly, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It wasn't perfect, but it's good enough, I think. And now he's clear, though, at third place, and he slips in line behind Justin Fuller. It's go time. 30 laps to go. Saving time is over. He needs to go out and win this race, and Justin Fuller needs to hold him off. I hate to call it this early, but it's going to be one of these two, I think. And they're bumper to bumper here. Coming to the line, 29 laps to go.
Absolutely. And what you also got, like what you're thinking about there, too, is Trey Edson, he knows that Justin Fuller is going to run that truck and run it hard. That's another thing. So, he's in a position to where he doesn't really have to run it that hard yet. Maybe he can just keep, Justin Fuller honest and make him run that truck hard, and then have that last dash effort there at the end. We talk about Josh Parker with those new tires. Yeah, he's coming through the field fast. I mean, like gangbusters. He's up to 11th, so don't count him out before the end of this one. He could be there. And you got Tommy Ryan right there along with him, but Trey Edson, I think right now he is pretty much just going to make Justin Fuller nervous.
Right, he's going to sit there, put pressure on that back bumper. Here comes Tommy Ryan, though, and Jose Gonzalez once again looking to make something happen here for these guys.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Tommy Ryan, it's kind of been that dark horse throughout the whole entire chase, unfortunately missing it. But he's had bad fast machines, just some bad lucks, wrong time, wrong place. And Jose right there, hadn't seen Jose in a while, but good to see him out here running as the battle's heating up front between the top two chase drivers. And speaking of Josh Parker, he's up to 9th, so he's coming through the field. Don't count him out. And that could be where Trey has to think about it. And you got to look, Ryan Howard's up to 7th. Daniel Falkingham and them, they're battling back there for 7th and 8th. Now, that's the other 2 chase drivers. And they got Josh Parker right there behind him. You see Parker going to push Falkingham past Howard. And then he's going to say, okay, it's fun. I got to go. Good little race going on, but look at this. Tommy Ryan and Jose, they were side by side for a moment. Oh man, I don't know who's going to pull this off. Trey Edson right there. You know, and we talked all race long too about this, Jeff. You know, I still go off and maybe Trey has just sit there and seen what his truck will do. But we don't know if this is all he has and he's just giving it everything and just won't break through that barrier.
Right, we don't really know.
Now, I got to talk about something else real quick here. I don't mean to go off on the subject.
Yeah.
I did not see this coming. Daniel Falkingham.
Storming his way back up, but
And
I don't know.
well, Marie, I'm going to tell you why he's storming through the front. He pitted at 122 with 4 tires, just like Josh Parker. He is running. He's not fast as the leaders, but he is running faster than they are by a solid 10th, maybe 10th and a half. He can get around Jose and Tommy Ryan very quickly. He could have a shot to get up there with those guys too. I did not catch Daniel Falkingham making the pit stop there with Josh Parker.
He is gaining really quickly, but I don't know if it's enough.
Yeah, it's going to be tight. It's all dependent on how much he can get around these guys here. You know, Jose and Tommy Ryan, obviously it's going to be very hard there and how much tire he uses up. And as the run goes on, so... And he got around Jose. Get around Tommy Ryan. We could have a 3-truck battle for this. I know we were saying, hey, look, it's between the top 2, but now this mixes it up with his tires here. Daniel Falkingham could have made the pit stop of the century here.
You're absolutely right. This could be it. It could make or break the entire race. Daniel Falkingham up to 4th now and gaining rapidly on the leaders. If they start battling and Trey Edson, you know, gets stuck side by side with Justin Fuller, which he does not want to do. Trey Edson does not want to get stuck side by side with Fuller. He wants to just get to his inside, go around him. No problem at all. But Justin Fuller obviously doesn't want that.
Falkingham is up to 3rd
He's
right now.
He's 3rd.
Yeah,
he's gaining, and he's going to get to these guys and could blow past both of them.
And when I don't think he's going to blow by him. That would be awesome if he did. But his lap times are obviously within, you know, now a little under a 10th. And you know and I know there's a hard place to pass. Obviously, I think he can catch him, but now he's got to get around him. And you got Ryan Howard sitting back there going, all right, y'all 3, get up there and just kill each other, you know, and I'll steal this thing. So, I don't know, man. This is heating up and getting interesting.
This is what it all comes down to.
That's it. Who wants it the worst? I mean, out here, you know, who wants that title? I know Trey Edson would love to make it 2 for 2. Justin Fuller would love to put another one on his shelf there, and Daniel Falkingham also. So you've got 3 top-notch drivers in the Kickass Beef Jerky Truck Series battling for the title right now, as Fuller is probably aware of the situation, and he's just going to. The problem with Fuller and Edson, if they start to push their trucks, they're going to wear them tires out faster than Falkingham is, and I think that's what you're seeing with Edson there. Is he almost slid coming out of the turn. Open the door up for Falkingham. That's another thing you got to think about too there, Jeff. You know that as old as the tires is on Fuller, if he starts pushing that truck to get away from Falkingham, he's going to risk losing the rear end of it. We've already seen it a couple times tonight. I really feel right now that pit stop might have been, it could be the winning move here this race and for a championship.
Absolutely. Not only the race winning move, but the championship winning move. Now he's up to second. He got by Trey Edson with relative ease. He's gaining on Justin Fuller, looking to take the win.
Well, it's 15 to go here. Fuller, definitely is going to do everything he can to make that truck very wide as FAULKINGHAM's there. And I think FAULKINGHAM at this point, keep him honest like Trey Edson did. You're there, maybe just ride behind him a little bit. Make Fuller use that equipment up out there, And you can see him, Justin Fuller right now. That truck's getting a little wiggly off the turns, and because you're seeing Fuller, or FAULKINGHAM's putting pressure on the back end of Fuller. I think this is going to be passed for the win, and look at that draft. And oh boy, and here's where it gets interesting because this is where these two guys could wreck. Well, it ain't over with yet. Fuller's going to drive that thing in hard. He's not done. And that's the thing about Justin Fuller now. He might end up overdriving it. Now you've got Trey Edson in the mix there along with it. Boy, I tell you what. This is a championship here. And look at this. That's what I thought was going to happen. I knew it.
And Trey Edson goes around, gets tagged by Josh Parker.
Nothing that Josh Parker doing that right there. We saw that live, and I'm going to tell you what, that basically was just awesome racing between those guys up there. We're not done. But
Fuller just destroyed the back end of FAULKINGHAM.
Uh-oh.
Rear end damage. He caved that rear bumper in.
Oh. Now, I gotta say this. Now let's go back and recap on what happened there. That was not Daniel FAULKINGHAM's fault. Getting into Fuller. Fuller was blocking, and it's racing, folks. Hey, I'm all for what they were doing. They were racing. It's a championship. Go all at it. Fuller, though, obviously played his cards and drove it down in there, blocked, and FAULKINGHAM was on the inside. Now, FAULKINGHAM did back out and got out of it so that they didn't run through him. And, that allowed Justin Fuller. But unfortunately, Trey Edson had to check up, and when he checked up, Josh Parker nowhere to go. But I gotta say, the retaliation there on Fuller's end, I'll let the admins deal with that. Now, the problem here, there's two things. I would rather have rear end damage than the damage now that Fuller has on the front end of that truck.
I would agree with that, but I mean, man, that's...
Let's look at that front end of that truck there, folks. I mean, it's smashed in. Yeah. So, Ryan Howard came in. He's going to get 4 tires. And Justin Fuller's coming off pit road backward. Is that legal?
Are you doing that?
I don't know. Let's go back and see what happened to him. Let's go in a replay on it. I don't know if that's legal. I don't know if it's legal in the real world. I mean, obviously iRacing you probably get away with it, but in the real world, would that be legal? I don't think that would be legal, would it? Oh, he looped it, spun around.
Right.
Now, in the real world, obviously, he'd tear the truck all to pieces. And have to come back in. But
probably would have been penalized for the spin around move he did, I would say. But
I mean, who knows in the virtual world? But I mean, obviously, in the real world, yeah, that would have been a penalty. 2, he probably would have got into another team, so unfortunately. But all right, here's the scenario we got set up. Jose Gonzalez stayed out. Smart move on his end. I really feel very smart move. He pitted at lap 108. Why not? You got nothing to lose. Ed Coleman stayed out. He pitted at lap 122, so he could be the dark horse here to win this race. Jimmy North pitted lap 108, 114 for Richard Swavely. Josh Parker, remember he pitted lap 122, was coming through the field. He stayed out. John Casto pitted lap 145. He was the first one out. He only took 2 tires. Daniel Falkenham back in 7th. Tommy Ryan in 8th. Ryan Howard 9th. Jeff Strewsbury 10th. Justin Fuller 11th. Ray Edson back in 13th. Those, Falkenham, Howard, Fuller, Edson, all your chase drivers. Love to see Jose maybe pull this off, or Coleman up there pulling this off. Maybe Jimmy North, man. Maybe we can see a newer winner here or so forth. We'll have to see how this one pans out. It'll be about 7 to go, though. Has Falkenham got enough truck to hold them off? I mean, wow.
I think that rear end damage is really going to hurt him. Honestly speaking, at a track like this, you want that back end intact.
Then let me throw this out at you, Jeff. Is Ryan Howard the one sitting there pretty because he's got a pristine truck as opposed to Fuller not, and Falkenham
got
not having
damage? Yeah. Boy, this really makes it tough to call.
It does. Green flag. We're at it. We're going to see here Ryan Howard. You already see Daniel Falkenham. And right there, Justin Fuller just got in the back of Howard. Well, never mind. We were just talking about that.
Oh,
and
that's
Fuller, man, wow. Just racing right there. Went in there. 2 guys taking the wrong turn. But I tell you what, Daniel Falkenham took off like a rocket ship. Man, we just watched that one kind of live right there. Fuller got in the rear end there. Howard. So 2 chase drivers again in trouble. Daniel Falkenham got out of Dodge, and I really feel he knows what's in stake. Now you got Ray Edson there on the back end of Justin Fuller. And, well, folks, this one has turned into what we thought. We knew what was going on, or we knew what they had, and now we don't know what they have to, who knows what they've got. Get all that?
I did. I'm just looking back here, and that's disappointing to see. That's really too bad what just happened. Because Ryan Howard might have had something for Daniel Falkenham. It's going to come down to a green-white checker now to determine the winner.
And it will. And here I think Daniel would probably love to win the race, but his biggest concern, stay in front of Fuller. Stay in front of Fuller and those guys, win the championship. Obviously, Jose up front would love to put this thing in victory lane. To make it to the white flag, no matter what happens at that point. Here we go, hopefully for the final time. And from what I'm seeing, what's going to be, Fuller's going to line up right behind Daniel Falkenham. Here we go. About to be go time. Green white checker. That's the seatbelts up there. It's going to be interesting. We're crowning a champ here tonight. It's already been a wild one. I mean, it's been crazy. Real crazy. Here we go. Good, Jeff. Here we go. Jose Gonzalez, old Speedy up there. If he's got enough speed underneath the hood of that machine to pull this thing off and win it tonight. Chad Coleman, he get in there and get it. Jimmy North up there too. Haven't heard him in a while. There's Daniel Falkenham. Is he done? Green flag's about to fly. A lot of answers, a lot of questions about to be answered here. You. Go one more time around. Again. Green white checker. Love it. Anticipation. what's about to happen on the track.
It's going to be huge here. This is going to determine the championship. Daniel FAULKINGHAM versus Justin Fuller. Man.
Oh, yeah. You're absolutely right. So here we go. Jose, Coleman, North, FAULKINGHAM, Ryan all rounds up the top 5. Lights off on the pace truck for the final time here. Let's say well, 3 to go. So, yeah, like I said, going up about a green white on here. Whew. If Jose can hold him off, maybe Chad or one of those guys gets up there. Here we go. Pace truck's in. Green flag. Even here, we're racing to Phoenix.
Green, white, checkered, now lap 154, 2 to go. Fuller thinks about going in the middle, 3 wide, thinks better of it. This is the battle for the championship, but Trey Edson's not too far behind. Fuller just spun out FAULKINGHAM. They both go around. Trey Edson to the lead.
Wow, and let me tell you what's going to happen here. Let me tell you what might just happen here, because that's going to throw a caution out. But right there, he drove that thing on the inside of him. Now we got to see something here, because Ryan Howard, trying to see where Trey Edson made it out of that. Trey Edson's up to 3rd. And Daniel FAULKINGHAM's motor is gone, so his hopes for a championship done. Let's see. Go back on the replay and see that again. Those guys were playing bumper tag the entire time. Fuller ran it in there hard, and then basically just sent that thing in there and just drove it in, and then they both went around, and unfortunately FAULKINGHAM paid a huge price bump at the inside wall. That motor's gone. Justin Fuller back in 16th. Wow. So what a turn, and Trey Edson's probably sitting up here going, what just happened? So are we looking at, right now, our defending series champion winning 2 in a row? He's only got a couple laps to get it done.
EJ O'Rourke won the last series.
Trey Edson's a defending champion.
In the ARCA cars?
Oh, no, I'm talking about the Kickass, the truck series.
Oh.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, I was very confused. I'm like, no, EJ O'Rourke definitely won, because you and I did that last season.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the truck series last year. Trey Edson won the truck series last year. My bad. Yeah, so Trey Edson is the defending champion of the Kickass Beef Jerky Truck Series, and if all goes well and stays where it's at right now, he's going to defend his title and be a back-to-back 2-time. He might be more than that, but he'll be a back-to-back 2-time Truck Series champ here at Sim500. Somebody out there in the chat, give me his stats. How many championships Trey Edson won? I know somebody out there listening. Has he only won one? Has he won more than one? As right now, we're going to say it could be a 2-time champ. But it could be more. We'll get confirmation here. He's just got to hold on. I mean, he's pretty much had the Red Seas party for him.
Looks like
I'm sorry, Jeff. Daniel FAULKINGHAM's refusing to go into pit road. That thing's smoking like a weed eater. Him and Justin Fuller are gonna line up side by side in the back.
Yep, I wasn't sure to point that out, but Daniel FAULKINGHAM isn't going, and he's lining up right next to Justin Fuller, who slammed him in the back end under caution and just turned him around. Ryan Howard isn't too far away either, and
And here's the thing, you've got to look, you know, these three guys are all going for a championship. It's hard racing. Emotions run high. We can sit up here and say, oh, we won all day long. Emotions run high on it and whatnot. They're the ones that have to deal with the consequences of the actions that they do on the track. We just up here having fun, calling it and seeing it. And the green flag flies. I don't think Daniel Faulkingham's going to have enough speed to get up there to him. He would have to send that thing in a turn, but Ryan Howard could.
He might have something.
Yeah, he might have something to say about what's going on, but that's a battle going on back here in the back. Let's see, Trey Edson has got up to second. Now, here's where he needs to be careful, because where he's at right now, and he's got a lot of hungry guys that want wins and finishes. And I know Trey Edson would love to win this race, but at some point he's got to be like, you know what? Oh, two trucks together in the back. Tyler Dalton in the middle. White flag's out. Did it hit the caution? No, it did not. They're going to stay green. So we're going to go back up here. We watched it a little bit right there. Tyler Dalton spinning because they got the white flag before the caution. You know, in the iRacing, nope. It looks like Trey Edson's going to hang on to third, but Jose Gonzalez is going to pull the win off here. Chad Coleman's coming home in second, but Trey Edson is going to be your champion here, folks, tonight. And unfortunately, Daniel Faulkingham's going to finish 16th. Justin Fuller back in 12th. Ryan Howard's going to end up back in the 11th place spot there. But what a finish and what a way to cap this season off here.
Absolutely. What a fantastic race. Trey Edson, your champion, defending champion, 2 times in a row. Good for him. Trey Edson finishes third. Jose Gonzalez just won this race, though.
He did. Oh, Jose right there. Real speedy, man. Looking good doing it.
Can we call the 2020 Kickass Beef Jerky Truck season the Jose Gonzalez sandwich? He won the first race, won the last race. I love it. I love it.
He just made him a kick-ass beef jerky sandwich right there. It's what you got. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So 3 years in a row, just got confirmations, 3 years in a row, a Kick-Ass sponsored truck has won the championship. Great. Who was it before that, Joey? Let me know here. So we're going to bring some of these guys up here and talk. Because we know Trey Edson now. He is a 2-time champion. And again, I don't know if I can get these guys up here. They had to jump up here themselves. We're going to get Trey Edson, Chad Coleman, and Jose. Oh. Alright, so if you guys out there, if anybody's listening, Joey and all, those guys, the top 3, jump up in the waiting room for me if you can. As Trey's there, we'll talk to him last. Camp anyway. Oh, there's Chad Coleman. Let's bring Chad Coleman up and let you get a word with him there, Jeff.
It's Jeff up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, for the last time this season we're up here talking to you, it was a 2nd place finish for you tonight. Was that what you were expecting when you started the night all the way back in 14th to come out of here in 2nd place and survive all that craziness towards the end?
When we started getting cautions with about 40 to go, yeah, kind of. You know, it basically turned to survival. And, but yeah, I shouldn't have run 2nd right there. I basically drove into turn 3 and spooked Trey because he didn't have anything to gain by racing me right there. So he just rolled out and let me have it. But, it was a good race after I crashed in qualifying. I did real good there. I sucked.
Well, you didn't qualify, but you came out here, finished 2nd place tonight. What was going through your mind, though, with all those late race cautions popping up?
Really, I kind of expected it. Daniel, me and Josh helped him out with a little bit of pit strategy there, and he saved a set of tires. And then, well, he saved a set of tires, so he come in and took the extra set he had, drove back through the field. Him and Fuller made a little contact. I mean, to me, it looked kind of like racing. Fuller was defending, and Daniel was shoving it in there at the time. You know, they're racing for a championship. So And then on the restart, I ain't real sure what happened. I heard it. It was beside me. I mean, I heard contact. I don't know exactly what happened. But they spun, and it kind of handed it to Trey. But, yeah, I mean, you kind of expect it. You get down towards the end of the race. Championship. Guys racing for a championship. Going to be some paint traded.
Yeah, paint traded might be an understatement, but that's a story for another night. Who do you have to thank for the second place run here tonight in a successful 2020 season in the Kickass Beef Jerky Sim500 series?
I got to thank everybody with Kickass Beef Jerky and with Jason Barham, their company, the company he's with that supports the league. And it supports myself and Trey. And thank those guys and everybody that had anything to do with the league. Thanks to Nick for running the truck series all year and putting up with all of our shit. And thanks for you guys for broadcasting. We'll go back and look at it tomorrow evening or something.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on a second place run here tonight, Chad. A great race for you, a great season for you. Congratulations on it.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Well, there you go. Like you just said, the man right there, Chad Coleman, has always done an outstanding job putting it where he needs to put it. But let's bring up our winner here tonight. And let's get a word in with him here. Jose there, Jeff. What's the thing?
Jose, it's Jeff up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Jeff, what's going on?
Not too much. And I'll tell you what, 2020 is, I called it the Jose Gonzalez sandwich season. You won the first race, you won the last race, but throughout the middle, it didn't come together. So what happened? Wrap up the season here for me. Break it down.
Well, it's Cece. I just bought a new wheel yesterday.
Did you have a new wheel for Daytona too?
No. But it's different, you know. A good wheel makes a world of difference in a track like this. But I don't know. I had speed, but I had a lot of bad luck in 2020, and I got wrecked a lot and make the mistakes on pit road and stuff. But you know, this time I made the right call finally.
It sure looks like it. It was the right call there. So what was going through your mind there with all the late race cautions and everything? How confident were you towards the end?
Well, I know when there's restarts in Phoenix, you're going to get a lot of cautions. And being the last race and a lot of guys with new tires, they're going to be very aggressive. So I knew there were going to be a couple of cautions. I just didn't know if I could be able to hold my lead with old tires. This track, you can drive around with old tires here and manage somewhat, but I didn't know if it would last for a couple of laps. You know, I just try to make the best restarts I could and hope for the best.
It looks like it worked out well for you, Jose. Who do you have to thank for this race tonight, the win tonight, and the 2020 season as a whole?
I'm going to have to thank AccuForce Wheel.
Oh, man.
It feels really nice. I mean, I haven't even set it up yet, and it feels really cool. So, yeah, I'm going to have to thank those guys. And my teammates and everybody, the admins on Wednesday nights, they have done a tremendous job. Nick Silver has done a really great job this year. It's been a great Wednesday league, and Joey and everybody in Sim500 and you guys for broadcasting this series. We really appreciate it, and it's been a lot of fun.
It absolutely has, Jose. Congrats on the win here tonight, wrapping up the 2020 Jose Gonzalez sandwich season really well. The new AccuForce getting it done tonight. Congratulations once again.
Well, that's I'm gonna tell you what. They always call him Speedy Gonzalez, but if it gets any faster, we won't be able to see him on the track. Talk about his wheel, and he ain't even got it set up yet, guys. Be careful. Talk about next season coming. Jose, congratulations on that win tonight.
Thanks a lot. I'm going to be driving from the Blimpie.
There you go. Absolutely. Maybe that'll slow you down enough for everybody else. Hey, again, congratulations there. Jose Gonzalez, winner here tonight. Well, but this guy, wow. You finished in third. Man, Trey Essen, Joe at the boot, got a copy.
Hey, buddy.
Well, I tell you what, it seems like you've said it time and time again. We're always talking to you up here, but tonight was when you really want us to talk to you. I know you would have loved to have won that race, and it got hot and heavy up there real quick amongst you four there in the race, but you was able to hold on, and kind of the Red Seas parted. You are the champ, back-to-back champs, and also 3 years in a row, the sponsor truck wins the championship.
Cool. I didn't know about the. Oh, that's right. They did sponsor Fuller. So yeah, that is pretty neat for Barham and them and Kickass Beef Jerky to get the championship, at least one of their championship trucks in a series they sponsor. So yeah, it was it feels like 10 years ago with the way 2020 is going for everybody. But back at the start of the season, I just I was bummed that Homestead wasn't the finale, but I just kind of wanted to get to the Final Four and just see how it shook out. I mean, I ran better tonight than I thought I would. I didn't lead any laps or anything. I could never get to the lead, but I felt like I was right there on Daniel the first run, and then I was kind of hanging out with Fuller there the last half of the race, and then it just everything just kind of went haywire right there at the end. When Fuller and Daniel got into each other and won, and I got spun, I mean, Josh had nowhere to go. They were just racing, and things were happening in front of us, so I wasn't even really mad. I just kind of like, whatever, that's racing, it happens. And I pitted, and I started like 13th, and things just, like you said, things just kind of happened, and I still haven't gone back and watched it, but I couldn't believe what I was seeing out the windshield when we were going down the backstretch on that restart with Daniel and Fuller spinning. And then the restart before Ryan Howard got destroyed. So I was like, well, dang, if I just run the most careful 2 laps of my life on this next restart, we got this thing. So that's what I did. Chad Coleman dove it in there into 3, and I was just like, well, hell, man, you can have the whole bottom. I'm not racing you. And I moved out of his way, got in line. Tommy's a smart racer. He knew what I was doing, and he gave me room on entry, and I wasn't gonna force anything on Chad. So yeah, we just we brought it home. It's weird. That's last Monday and tonight. I don't. Things just happen, and I don't. I don't know. Last year I felt like I was more pumped up because I won the race. It just feels weird to lose a race but be happy over the bigger picture. So that's funky to know you won a championship but you didn't win the race. I don't know. Weird.
Well, I like that. That's back to the old days. That ain't like the predictable thing NASCAR does nowadays. You always know one of them guys is going to win. So it's always good. Y'all put on a show there at the end. Yeah, special
in NASCAR,
tire.
the Final Four, they get them special tires.
Yeah, they get something. Who knows what it
Days
is?
of Thunder, Harry Eye tires.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. But I tell you, man, coming home in third, like you said, up and down night. I mean, at one point it looked like it was all you and Daniel FAULKINGHAM, and then it just went haywire, upside down real quick. Justin and all them up there, and guys battling and so forth. But it has been, like I said, a long season. You are a back-to-back champion now, and that makes it feel real good. So, 2-time champion. And I got to ask, how many championships have you won? Is it just 2 now?
Sim500 or my whole life?
Truck series.
I would say I've been sim racing since 2002, so I can't. I probably couldn't tell you, but that's 2 for the truck series. I've only ran full time 2 seasons, so
okay.
2 for 2 there, and then I won the Cup championship last Monday. So I guess it'd be 4 total in Sim500. So okay. Joey and the boys have been good to me so far.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, a lot of guys are probably like, well, when you're retiring now. So, it's like Jose was talking there before. He won the race, and it's good to see him put it in victory lane. And the first thing he said, well, I got to thank AccuForce for my wheel. I hadn't even got it set up yet. And I'm sitting thinking to myself, well, I call you Speedy. You ain't got that thing set up. Well, that's scary already. So, wow. Get ready for next season there on that one. But, man, Trey, it's been awesome. You got the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky truck. I say that week in, week out almost. And you enjoy these short tracks here, and tonight you are the champ here in the Sim500 Kick-Ass Beef Jerky Truck Series. Got anybody want to thank for this awesome season?
Yeah, man. Back to Jose. That explains it because he was fast tonight, and not to say he's never fast, but you know he's never up my tailpipes there, and he was the first half of the race, and I was just like, man, Jose is Phoenix Jose's wheelhouse or what's going on? But yeah, it was a good season. We battled with Daniel and Fuller, and it seems like at some point in the season you're battling pretty much everybody in the field. So. But yeah, like Daniel hit the wall, and it was just like a parachute there, the middle part of the race, and I thought he was kind of done for, and then he got off sequence on tires and come driving back up through there, and it was just that was a wild race. It was more than I thought we were going to deal with tonight. I just kind of thought all of us would be up there and just kind of a normal race unfolds. You know, we get green flag pit stops and not a bunch of craziness at the end like we had, but. Yeah, I want to thank you and Jeff. Y'all do a great job. I'll go back and watch this craziness tomorrow. And I got to talk to you boys quite a bit this year. I was looking at overall Sim500 truck series stats, and I was kind of poking at Fuller before the race. I was like, I think I'm the most decorated truck driver in Sim500 history because I got most wins, most poles, most laps led, blah blah blah. He's like, yeah, but we're all tied for championships. So now I can poke the bear a little bit there. But yeah, I need to thank Jason Barham. He almost, so I hate to keep talking, but off of turn 2, Jason had fresh tires and was unlapping himself and wrecked. And on my screen, I hit him straight in the door. But then looking at your broadcast in the replay, I barely clipped him. But there was no... I didn't even get like a car contact.
I saw that earlier. There was no damage.
Right. Yeah, there was absolutely no damage. I don't know. It was just a freaky iRacing netcode incident because I hit him full speed in his door number. I thought our night was over, but that'd been kind of weird. They got a sponsor in the truck takes me out, so that'd have been awkward for him. But yeah, he got to thank him. That's 2 championships in 2020 for him, and back to back in the truck series. So hopefully he wants to keep going in 2021. I haven't talked to him about it yet, but I can't see why not. We got a good partnership, but things seem to go well for both of us. But thanks to Joey, thanks to all the admins, Nick and Sean. I think they're departing the league. I haven't heard anything official, but Sean and Nick may be moving elsewhere for 2021. But thanks for the time and the effort they put into the series. Nick and whoever does the graphics for the truck series, they do an awesome job. I love the Facebook post and the pictures and all that stuff that they do. It just kind of adds to it. And again, thanks to Joey, thanks to Kickass Beef Jerky and Trans Service and all the sponsors that keep Sim500 growing. And I'm burnt out, so I'm ready for an off season, and hopefully when February rolls around, I'll be ready to go again.
You know, and trying to defend that title again, like you say, maybe go for 3 for 3 there. Who knows? But like you said tonight, hey, you're the champ. They can't take it away from you. 2020's Kick-Ass Beef Jerky Truck Series champion Trey Edson. Again, congratulations on Trey.
Thank you guys. Y'all have a happy holidays the next couple months and a new year, and appreciate it for all that you guys do. And I'm sure we'll chat with each other before February.
Absolutely. We'll tell you what, there you go. Man, I tell you, Jeff, man, right there, outstanding job here to cap off the season. Well, folks, it has been an awesome one here for the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky Truck Series. And that man, Trey Edson, winning the championship. Jose Gonzalez, Speedy, winning the race here tonight. Jeff, you got any final words here before we close out this awesome 2020 season?
What a fantastic season all around. I had a lot of fun calling all these races with you here, Joe, and man, it was just a great time.
No doubt it.
Yeah, congratulations to Jose Gonzalez. Congratulations to Trey Edson, but I'm gonna, Trey Edson going back to back there, but the Jose Gonzalez sandwich season of 2020 wins Daytona, wins Phoenix. What a fantastic way to wrap up the season. And, time's a flat circle. It all comes together here at the end. Jose Gonzalez opens with a win. He closes with a win here. And it was a great season all around.
Well, we started back at Daytona. We ended it here at Phoenix here, folks, at the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky Truck Series. I'll get it out there in a minute. As here at the Sim500, Trey Edson's your champ. Jose Gonzalez putting in victory lane for myself and all the folks here at Sim500. Everyone have a good rest of the year. Some good holidays out there. Have a good night.